Hey guys, and welcome to the video. So today I'd like to discuss something which most people get confused about when going on a diet. And that's the fact that they think they have to consume less food when in actual fact it's fewer calories. So let me explain that more. So one of the biggest factors that keep us full is the amount of food that goes through our gut. So when we go on a diet and start cutting calories, if we cut the amount of food we're eating as well, then we're often going to feel hungry and it's going to make it difficult to lose weight. So when you are trying to lose weight, it's really important, even though you cut the calories, you don't cut the amount of food that you're eating, the volume of food. So let me just explain that a little bit more. So I've got in front of me three foods. I've got some broccoli, I've got some rice, and I've got some chocolate. So what would you say is the commonality between these three foods? So just to save you guessing, it's the fact that they all have 130 calories. So this is 130 calories of broccoli, this is 130 calories of uncooked rice, and this is 130 calories of chocolate. Now, if you were trying to lose weight, which would be the obvious choice to keep you full? It would be the more voluminous, calorie sparse broccoli, right? Because there's a lot of volume there for only 130 calories. Whereas the opposite end, the chocolate, there's very little volume, so it's a very dense food for 130 calories. So if you were hungry and you ate that, it's not going to fill you up much compared to that. So if you were to try and eat the same amount of chocolate, as in volume, as the broccoli, you probably end up eating maybe 2,000 to 3,000 calories of chocolate to eat that volume, whereas that's only 130 calories. So I hope it makes sense that if you are trying to drop weight, it makes a bit more sense to eat more foods like this, which are very voluminous and low in calories, compared to foods like this, which are very dense and high in calories. So as humans, we're used to eating, like I said, a certain amount of food going through our gut. So let's say it's 1.5 kilograms per day. If you are reducing your calories overall, you want to maintain that volume of food. So while reducing your calories, you can maintain that volume of food by putting in more stuff like this, which is very voluminous, but lower in calories. And that can keep you full and help you stick to your diet. So a lot of people will say that carbs are bad for you and they make you put on weight and to cut out carbs. And it's not the fact that you're cutting out carbs that makes you lose weight. It's not the fact that carbs are bad for you. But you can just see with this rice, this 130 grams of rice, of course it will be cooked a bit more voluminous, but the broccoli for the same amount of calories is a lot more voluminous. So having that in your stomach will fill you up a lot more than that. So it's not the fact that you're cutting out carbs that makes you lose weight. It's the fact that you're putting in foods that keep you fuller for longer and reduce your calories. So if you're going to eat this amount of volume of rice, obviously it's going to be about sort of maybe 10 times more. So that would be over 1,000 calories of rice versus 130 calories of broccoli for the same amount of volume. So does that make sense? We can reduce the amount of calories we're consuming, but maintain the amount of food volume that's going through our stomachs by going a bit more towards this end. Now, I always say as well to maintain a balanced diet. So of course, this is the end that you should be looking for to keep you full. However, this end is the end you should look at to keep you enjoying your diet. So it's important to include a bit of everything, but be balanced. So base your diet around bulky things like vegetables, which keep you full, give you lots of nutrients. Maybe cut down a bit on the starchy carbs like pasta, rice and bread, because they're not very voluminous for the amount of calories you're getting. And still include a little bit of stuff you like and you enjoy, like chocolate, but make sure it fits in with your calories so that you're still losing weight. And just make sure you're not cutting out anything completely, because that often makes you crave it more and then you go overboard and start binging and go over your calorie allowance for the day. So I'd just like to give you a quick example of how you can use this to eat more of this by manipulating this. So let's say you had a big plate of rice and you wanted to be able to lose weight but also still be able to eat chocolate. So what you could do is half the amount of rice you are having on your plate. So remember, rice is quite dense, so if you took away half the rice and replaced it with the same amount or more in volume of broccoli, but because the rice has more calories in it for the same amount of volume, and you put broccoli there instead, you've got calories left over. So what that means is then you can fill those calories with some chocolate. So does that make sense? You basically reduced the volume of a very dense food with a lot of calories in it, and you replace that volume with a very calorie sparse food. So you've now got space to fill those calories with something else, and it can be something you enjoy, it could be anything. So that's how you can fit chocolate into your diet, into a meal very easily, by putting more veg in, reducing maybe the starchy carbs, and then you've got that space for chocolate. So just as a summary, we need to maintain the volume of food going through our stomach. So when you are on a diet, make sure you eat lots of veg and fruit as well, which is very voluminous for the amount of calories you get. Maybe cut down a bit on the starchy carbs, bread, pasta, rice, things like that. And that enables you to fit in things like chocolate as well into your calories, as long as you're still eating in a calorie deficit. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Like, share and comment as always, and I will see you in the next one.